Hello Gemini and welcome to my channel Greenland Goddess Tarot. This is your monthly reading for November and we will see what is coming in for the month of November. Okay, it's good to kind of get past those eclipses that we had in October. We have Justice, Truth, Clarity and the Four of Crystals, Control and Security. Okay, looking at contractual issues here, contracts in your life, whether they're work contracts, soulmate contracts, Akashic record contracts. There's something here that you're kind of looking at and assessing with this Four of Crystals, Control and Security. So it really is kind of looking at, does this serve you? Like, is there someone who's being really controlling within this situation, somebody trying to control you, or is it something that brings you security? It could be a bit of both. And it's kind of like, again, it's this question of how is this serving you? Absolutely. So is it enough for you to kind of go, yes, I'm happy to have this person or this situation in my life. It gives me enough of what I need. Or is it like there's some kind of control or power issue that's going on with it where you're thinking, right, well, this isn't making me feel very secure and stable, so I don't need this anymore. So I feel like there's a lot of, this has got a lot of relationship stuff here, but I'm seeing relationship to bosses as well as relationship to family and relationship to friends. And it feels more not necessarily personal relationships like the partner relationships or husband-wife relationship. It feels like it's more the peripheral people around that, just kind of seeing what am I getting out of this? And with the contractual agreements, it can be exactly the same thing. Like if it's to do with a workplace, say, it's like who's in control here? And that could be a good thing as well. The fact that you're feeling like it brings you more in control, or you're feeling this whole energy of control. Are you in control or are you being controlled is something I think you're going to be kind of looking at. It's very much the South Node in Libra type energy that's coming through. So these issues of control in your life are going to be like a real theme that's coming through. And there might be a question of what are you holding on to for fear of letting go, because something may not feel like it's kind of serving or resonating for you anymore. So let's see what shifting and changing for November. Cup, King, Scorpio, Crown. So we are in Scorpio season. We start the month off in Scorpio season, then we move into your opposite sign, actually, Sagittarius season. So kind of interesting when you move into your opposite sign. I find what happens is it presents you with challenges, but if you rise to the challenge, then it creates opportunities. So this King of Cups, the Scorpio crown, is really getting to the bottom of something. It's very much like I'm going in deep. I'm going below some of the structures and rules of a situation. So I feel like there's a bit of a roadblock up ahead, or there's some kind of, this is how things are. These are the rules of the relationship or the rules of the situation that you're looking at here. And it's like, I'm just going to go diving deep below that. I'm going to go deep down and see how I really feel about this person, really see how I really feel about this situation, getting to the real deep truth of what's going on. So it definitely feels like there's it's getting to the bottom of something. Absolutely. If there's been any kind of contractual issues as well, legalities around you, it feels like there's another way that you can really get to the bottom or get to the truth of what's going on with this. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, intense, but ready to dive in deep just to get the answers that you are seeking and you are needing from a particular person or situation in your life. And like I said, it's got this contractual energy around it where you're kind of looking at the balance and the fairness, what's clear coming in around that. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. And I feel like it's something that you might be observing or feeling quite deeply. Could be something quite personal for you, and it might be a sense that you might not even, the other person might not even know that you're going through all these deep feelings and going through all of this exploration of what's really true here, because you might be kind of keeping your cards pretty close to your chest with this one, interestingly. So we have the Strength card as the situation. So this is where you are really sticking to you kind of having to connect into your courage, your bravery, and your reserves of resilience. So it might be you have to bite your tongue just while you're kind of working out what's going on with this situation. That's kind of what I'm feeling, is that just feel a little bit like I'm sitting back and observing, but not so much that you're not feeling everything. I feel like you're intensely feeling everything within this relationship or connection. But at the same time, it's almost like you've got a little protective barrier around you just to keep you safe for the moment while you're trying to work out what's going on with this. So yeah, it's interesting energy, Gemini. Feels very kind of different to normal. So different to, I think, like a normal Gemini reading or Gemini energy. So interesting. So Gemini, I just wanted to let you know that this reading is for Gemini Sun, Moon and Rising. Always recommend to watch all three of your placements if you know where they are, because it gives you a more holistic view of what's going on for you. And this is a general reading. Gemini, just take what feels right, leave the rest. If something's not resonating, just let it go. It's not for you. But if it does really resonate, there will be an extended reading. We're going to look into it further and dive deeper. If we can dive any deeper, we're already diving deep into this one. Yes, the Hanged Man's patience. Both of these cards are speak of patience coming through. And then we have the Death card. Yeah, so I'm feeling a lot of Scorpio energy here with the Death card coming in. It is the major arcana of Scorpio. It does represent Pluto transformation. So traveling deep into something and understanding what is ready to leave, what is ready to leave, what you're culling in your life, and then how is that creating space for something to rise again in your spirit? Because they're showing me Phoenix rising. So it's this sense of something in the ashes, something kind of needed to die in a way, in terms of the birth, death, and rebirth, just symbolically. And through these ashes, something new is rising up, like the phoenix. So yes, it's quite fascinating. So just in terms of, if you're interested in the extended reading, the link is in the description box below, and that link is through my Patreon channel. So here we have the Maiden. Virgo meets Leo. The Maiden closes the jaws of the lion. So this might be where you might want to say something, you might want to be the lion, you might want to speak up. But this Virgo energy is very analytical, very sensible, and saying, let's just analyze this and work out what's going on here first before we understand what the possibilities are and when we're moving forward. So you might have that kind of Leo-ish, kind of the lion within, wanting to kind of spring forward and defend somebody or be loyal to somebody or have some kind of like a big response. But it's like kind of tempering. I think your response is what's coming in here with this. Crossed by the Seven of Wands. Again, Seven of Wands is when the character is defending themselves. So that's kind of this energy of having the defense around you, or needing to have that kind of what I was saying, that barrier around you. So it can also be that somebody's being quite defensive with you, or you're being too defensive, because this is an energy that's blocking you. So sometimes we have these barriers up and it's not letting people in or not letting things in while we're sitting back and assessing and going, oh, okay, do I want to dive deep into this yet? And so at some point they're kind of saying that can block you, having too much of that sense of feeling either isolated or disconnected, or having the guard up in some way. It's not going to serve you for a longer time in this situation. It might serve you for the moment of where you're at, to where you're feeling like, okay, this is where I want to be. But at some point, I feel like you're going to have to work with that in a way that's going to evolve. So we have in your conscious mind the Five of Pentacles. This is walking away, quite literally. The two characters are walking away from the church because it no longer serves them. They once felt welcomed and now they don't feel welcome anymore. So it's kind of these feelings of rejection could come up around it as well. These kind of barriers and rejection and distance between you and somebody else, and a lot of questioning what's going on. Let's get to the truth of this. Let's go deep down and find out what's actually really going on, or wanting to at least. So it does feel like there's, and this could be an unwelcome energy into your life as well, where you kind of like, got these barriers up. So there's very much this sort of sense of looking at the boundaries between you and somebody else, or you and another situation in your life. That feels like it's like you're really working through that. At the base, we've got the Three of Wands. This is the young Empress. So the young Empress going, I don't want to be in this kind of contained space. This feels slightly like, ooh, I'm being, I like to go out and explore and see further afield and get some positive results coming back in and seeing my ships come through and have some new ideas and new ambitions. I don't want to feel confined by this situation or person or friendship or whatever relationship this is. So it's like there's a part of you that's seeking to explore something further. And whether this is wanting to explore away from this situation or person, or explore into it even more, it could go either way. It's like this, there's ambitions here, and you don't want to be held back by this energy or people around you or situations that feel like that could be happening. In the recent past, we've got the Queen of Wands. So this is where you've really stepped into your divine femininity and gone, what is it that I actually really want here? And it could be the Queen of Wands attracts things towards her. So it's like you may have attracted something towards you, and then you're going, well, okay, what is this? So I feel like something kind of comes into a situation or a scenario or an event occurs, and it's a little bit like, yeah, okay, why? Why have I attracted this into my life? So in the near future, we've got the Page of Wands. So it's kind of like the Queen of Wands is searching for something. She's looking for something. She's looking for something that she really wants. She's looking for an opportunity. So she goes, I'm not seeing it in this situation here. I might have to look further afield if what I want doesn't come to me. So she sends her page out and goes, you go look, go see if you can find what it is that we're looking for. Let's go further afield. It keeps getting that energy of going further afield. Unless those ships comes in, we're going out exploring. So here comes the little pioneering Page of Wands going out, going, well, my queen sent me out. I'm looking for something new. I'm looking for something different. So you're presenting as the Five of Swords. This is where this is conflict coming in, feeling very conflicted about a situation or a person in your life, or a contractual agreement of some sort. And there may have been that there's already been some kind of like words spoken or disagreements or fights or quarrels or something like that. There's something that's just not sitting right with you, or you're just conflicted about how to move forward and proceed with this. Because it might be that you're wanting to jump into it, absolutely, but it's kind of like just, if I'm not getting anything back that I'm looking for, maybe I'm going to go searching somewhere else. So we have, the situation around you, the Queen of Pentacles. So this queen likes to nurture her comfort, likes to nurture stability. So there could be a trusted friend around you. This Queen of Pentacles energy doesn't have to be gender specific, but this feels like it's like there's someone around that is reliable and you can trust. So it might be a confidant, somebody you want to go, look, this is how I'm feeling about this situation, and I'm really, really not sure about it. What should I do? So this is the trusted friend or the trusted person in your life that you can go and say, kind of talk to about this. In your hopes and fears, we've got the Four of Pentacles. So this is the Four of Crystals here. Both of these are the same. So the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Crystals. So I would say it's like, again, this question of, do I want this or do I not want this? Do I want to stay in a comfort zone, or do I want to push this a little bit and get to where the other side and get to what I'm kind of looking for here? So, interesting. You might have to kind of push through an invisible barrier in a way to get to where you want to get to. So we have as the outcome the Hanged Man, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. So kind of interesting, both the Hanged Man and the Seven of Pentacles requires patience to gain a new perspective. So, and whether this is a chosen patience or whether this is something that you just need, but because there's something that you're not necessarily seeing here. See, the Eight of Swords has got the blindfolds on, or something somebody's not seeing. There's some kind of limitation around it, or frustration, or that there's like they either can't see you, or you can't see them, or you can't see the solution. There's something here that's kind of blocking you inside your mind. And so it's kind of like take a different approach, a little bit like if there's a barrier, or let's go deeper and find a different way. Let's swim underneath it rather than letting this barrier kind of stop me. I'm going to find another way. So this is what this Seven of Pentacles and the Hanged Man are doing. They're both thinking about things, looking at it from a different perspective, thinking about it from somebody else's point of view, and going just where do I want to invest my time, effort, and energy with this situation? Do I want to be investing any extra time? Where should I plant the seed? Or am I done with this? Or am I going to put in a lot of extra time and effort? Will I be patient with this person or this situation? Is it going to evolve? And so there's this big question of patience and waiting that comes in around it. And so it's really, really interesting. And that in itself might feel like a frustrating energy, but it's saying a situation is going to really require some patience before you understand what the next investment of money, time, or energy is here, what the next move is. So we do have the Death card coming in as the overall energy, and this is saying something is transforming in your life, whether this is transformation over a large section of your life, whether there's transformation at play with this particular contractual agreement, whether it's a soulmate contract or a work contract or any kind of legal contract in your life. And there's the potential for this to transform, but whilst things it is going to require some patience is what I'm feeling here with this. And it may require some really understanding what it is that you need to let go of, what it is that you need to sacrifice in order to give yourself some more. So it's like, just say if you're looking at purely financially, so this could be anything, but financially, just say, okay, I want more money to invest in my health, but I'm going to stop paying for Netflix so that I can spend that money each month on something that I need in a different area. So it could be, something like that if there's like a contractual agreement around your health, say, but it's very much like you are working out what you have to let go of in order to make room for the new investments of time, effort, energy, and money. So yeah, it's interesting, Gemini. I really think it's quite an interesting, it's going to keep you, you're not going to get bored with this, that's for sure, because I feel like your mind is quite curious about it all. So we've got, your affirmation card, I am deeply fulfilled by all that I do. Each moment of the day is special to me as I follow my high instincts and listen to my heart. I am at peace with my world and affairs. So yeah, I think there's this real sense of just coming back to yourself and tapping into yourself and going, yeah, how do I feel about this? So yeah, interesting. No rush, but how do I feel? Let's pull a charm. Okay. We have, yes, interesting. The cross, Christ on the cross. So that's very much like the Hanged Man energy. It does represent the martyr. It represents sacrifice. It represents victim. It represents salvation even as well. It can represent all of those things. So it very much feels like there is, and this can, they're kind of bringing me to this word salvation, which is freeing yourself, saving yourself, I guess, being saved and freed from a situation. And it could be really easy to go into victim mode, to know what really, and it could actually be something really big that needs to be sacrificed or in order to kind of move on and move away from this. So, but it's to step into the salvation, to step into the other side where you're feeling a little bit freer of this. And there is all that energy of rising from the dead, all that kind of Christ-like symbology of what happened, died and then rose again. And so it's a little bit like that Phoenix energy and the death card, that there's something here that is going through that process symbolically. And it's the having the perspective to understand what that is, and to understand that it's important to let go of something. The Four of Crystals wants to hold on, but there's fear about letting go. But in creating the space that the Hanged Man is asking you to let go of something and release something can actually be quite enlightening in that process of doing that. And then that creates the space for the salvation. So, yeah, it's a lot of kind of religious icons and messages around that. It doesn't have to be related to any of that at all. But perhaps it has something to do. I mean, the fact that we've got the Five of Pentacles in the church, for some of you, maybe it is to do with belief systems as well. Maybe looking at that. So interesting. I think there's a very interesting opportunity for transformation in your life with something that has a contractual agreement, and there's definitely new energy and new life coming into this in some way. So that's the reading, Gemini. We're going to take it over to the extended reading now, because it still feels like this is a little bit of a puzzle we're trying to feel our way through and work through, because we're left with the Eight of Swords, which is the blindfold. There's still something that someone's not seeing. So let's explore that a little bit further into the extended reading and see whether that blindfold can come off and we can see clearly what's going on with this. A lot of Neptunian energy around it as well, so that can be where things are clouded or unclear or confused even. But definitely we're going to explore this further and see if there's some kind of maybe guidance or that the tarot can bring in around where this is going and where the energy is flowing towards. So that's all in the extended reading. Love it if you come over, Gemini. The link is in the description box below. As I mentioned, that is hosted by my Patreon channel. And please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments. It also helps with the growth of the channel. So I really, really appreciate it. And take care.